In 1990, the long-awaited sequel to 1984's horror comedy smash hit Gremlins hit theaters to mixed reviews. Gremlins 2: The New Batch takes place within a New York City skyscraper and once again finds Billy and Gizmo fighting off a horde of evil mutated gremlins. The sequel, in my opinion, isn't nearly as good as the first, as it's riddled with unnecessary, cheesy horse shit throughout, and at parts is so over the top, even for Gremlins, that it's frankly just plain fucking stupid. Luckily, there's a shining light to all of this, as Sunsoft released a pretty damn cool adaptation on the NES that very same year. The entire Gremlins 2 game takes place within the New York City skyscraper that has become infested with the loathsome rodent-like bastards, and the game is presented exclusively in a top-down format similar to Sunsoft's Blaster Master. The major difference here, though, is that Gizmo has the ability to jump, and there's plenty of jumping to be had. The first stage is pretty basic, tossing a handful of pushover baddies at you like bats, rats, and rogue mutant tomatoes, presumably from the genetics lab that's located within the same building. Gizmo begins the game with a life meter consisting of 3 hearts. He can sustain 2 hits of damage per heart before he loses a life. Did I mention you begin the game with only 1 life? 'Cause that's kind of important. Now luckily, Gizmo is not alone on his adventure and receives assistance from none other than the ghost of Mr. Wing. Now I say ghost, cause at this point in the movie, the old codger is already dead. Regardless, he has a number of helpful items to help Gizmo along the way, such as life-replenishing potions, balloons which rescue you from falling down pits, and the highly coveted and all-important extra life. This will be your most sought-after item in the game. With a reserve of extra lives, Gizmo will regenerate immediately upon death, retaining all power-ups purchased from Mr. Wing. Now you'd think that being Gizmo's former owner, Mr. Wing would generously hand over all of these items to Gizmo at no charge. Ha! Not so fast. There's profit to be had. Heaven ain't free, you know. No worries though, each enemy drops currency, so being strapped for cash is a predicament that you'll scarcely find yourself in. Each stage is broken up into sections, usually 2 per stage before concluding with a boss fight against one of the several mutated nuisances from the movie. And unlike many movie adaptations for the NES, Gremlins 2 actually uses many characters and settings directly from the film, such as the set from the cooking show, not to mention Grandpa Fred's ghastly graveyard. And who could forget this goofy little bastard? God, I'd love to stomp the shit out of him and scrape the carcass from the treads of my boot with a stick. And in between levels, we're treated to some of the prettiest cutscene graphics ever displayed on a Nintendo game, with the character models resembling the actors from the movie amazingly well, even Phoebe Cates with her 10-year-old boy haircut. What a shame. Oh yeah, now that's the Phoebe Cates that I remember. Gremlins 2 can be pretty challenging, and it takes plenty of practice and efficient utilization of Mr. Wing's power-ups to be successful. The jumping can also be a bit of a bitch with the overhead view, as I especially had issues jumping onto platforms when heading south. With most games, you want to get some momentum going before jumping onto another platform, but with Gremlins 2, you want to jump first, then quickly maneuver Gizmo to your desired location. Once I figured this out, I fell a lot less often, but still took the occasional tumble down the 8-bit abyss below. To make things a bit more manageable, there is a password feature to pick up from which stage you left off on, but you begin the stage again from square one with just 1 life and Gizmo's current weapon at its weakest. I honestly find the password feature in this game almost unnecessary, as the best way to complete Gremlins 2 is to stock up on lives and power up Gizmo's weapon. You begin the game with a laughable projectile to toss. Freaking tomatoes! Imagine the rocks you throw on Friday the 13th, only in a top-down view. Ugh. Once each round is completed, you are then rewarded with a new upgraded weapon, which are all much more helpful than a bunch of tomatoes. But the cherry on top is purchasing the weapon power-up from Mr. Wing. This power-up makes all of the difference in the game, and as long as you never see the game over screen, you'll never lose it. It even carries over to each subsequent weapon obtained after each level. And of course, I have to mention the graphics and music. The graphics, as you can see, are some of the best on the NES, and the music, brought to us by Sunsoft composer Naoki Kodaka, the same genius that composed the fantastic Batman soundtrack, is nothing short of astounding. Just take a listen. All in all, Gremlins 2 is a great game. I like it a lot more now than when it was first released, as I used the password feature during my youth, which led to my imminent demise. Recently having to participate in a multi-tap challenge for the game, I learned to play Gremlins 2 each time from scratch, and discovered that stocking up on lives and holding onto the weapon power-up throughout was the way to go. If you'd like to check out that challenge, I'll provide a link in the description below. If you haven't played Gremlins 2 yet, give it a shot. Miraculously, it's still selling for a reasonable price, so pick it up if you have the chance. The movie wasn't a winner, but this Sunsoft classic sure is.
Television again. An invention for fools.